Okay, everybody, I've got to do a quick video. My pool's a little screwed up right now. We've had some crazy thunderstorms. I checked my garden. It looks like it survived, but we do have a tornado warning in the area. So I've got to make this video quick. This is a break in the weather, kind of the quiet before the storm. So I'm going to point out just a few things, and then we're just going to have to be done, I guess, for now. A little bit upsetting. My red potatoes, looks like they got the damn potato blight. The Texas russet, still doing good. It's about a month younger, but the last couple of days, these really took a bad turn for the worse. I don't see any spider mites. I think it's really just blight. And I noticed it in the last video, and I didn't treat it. I did buy some neem oil. I'm going to treat it when I get a chance, but it's not looking too good. They're about 30 days from harvest. Not even that long, technically, I think. So hopefully I can just let it do the best it can. Obviously, the sweet peppers are still doing pretty good. They're getting pretty big. I mean, we're starting to get some pretty nice size peppers on these plants. So I'm a little excited about that. Obviously, they're growing pretty big. The purple jalapenos are just really doing well. There's several on this plant. See if I can get a view of all of them. I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got one down there for 6, 7, 8. And then back here, we've got a few. Let's see if I can get a good view. 9, 10, 11. I mean, there's a lot on this. So excited about that many of those. They're getting close to harvesting too. They don't get much bigger than that. The tomatoes, the mystery tomatoes, are getting bigger and bigger by the day. I'll have to move those eventually. And then the rosemary and the garlic cloves/chives that I use for chives are doing well. Oregano's starting to spread out and green up pretty good, and the thyme's doing well. The original mystery tomato is getting taller and bigger by the minute, and the flowers are coming in full gear, so I'm really happy with that. The grape tomatoes, man, I've had to tie these off. I should have caged them. I've had to tie them off so many times. There's literally so many grape tomatoes, and I'm excited because my first couple of grape tomatoes, they're smaller than the other ones up here. Like, these are bigger up here, and over here they're bigger, but they are turning red, so they're close to picking. Really excited. I had a couple of romaine head sleds that got eaten by something, birds, or I don't know. They didn't make it, but we've got the other lettuces still doing well, as well as those chives down there, the actual chives. See what else I can show you. Oh, you saw my last harvest, and since then, already, we're starting to get more tomatoes ripening. So, looks like it'll be time to maybe do another harvest. And again, these tomato plants, I mean, they are laced with tomatoes. They're just everywhere. I mean, I could probably go around and show you what we got. I guess I'll do that real quick since we've got so many. They're just everywhere on these plants. So, very prolific. Non-determinate, so they keep getting taller and taller. Now, if you recall, these are the store-bought tomatoes, and I had been calling them originally I thought they were beefsteak. They're not. They're not beefsteak. I've looked them up. We looked at all the kinds that we have bought and what they resemble the most, and we found out that they're just red on the vine tomatoes. So they don't get very big, about as big as a plum. I haven't had any that big, but that was the first harvest, and as they get bigger and bigger up the branch, I think they actually fill out a little better. So anyway, they're doing pretty good. I've decided to leave my scarecrow here. He's kept everything away from me. He's done a good job. When it's windy, his arms flail a lot and nothing comes near, so I'm really excited about having him up here for now. My red Jalapenos peppers are ready for picking. I've got one there, I've got another one there, and another one back there. So we've got 3 Jalapenos finger peppers ready for picking. I'll pick them today and eat them. I love the way they taste. My red Savina, the 3rd hottest pepper in the world, is starting to turn red. It happened so quickly. A couple days ago, he was still green, and man, he wasted no time. That red Savina is supposed to be between 350 and 580,000 on the Scoville scale. So I don't know how I'm going to do with that, but we'll test it. We'll test it out. Probably not for another week or so. And I'm finally starting to get some flowers and buds on my orange Scotch bonnets. So it looks like those will produce peppers pretty soon. Crazy growth on the Fresno pepper. We've got 3 there. We've got a couple there. Got a pack of 3 up here. Another big one up there. Peppers everywhere on that plant. Sorry, on that plant. And again, the unhealthy one, probably just should cut those peppers off and eat them young. That plant needs to recover, really. I didn't allow it to recover. I trimmed a lot of stuff off, and then it started producing peppers right away. And it's going to keep struggling on foliage if I don't get the peppers off, probably. So I'm probably going to end up cutting those off, chopping them up, and just putting them in something just to eat as a little bit sweeter than normal. Of course, you know, the Fresno peppers do get about 5,000 to 10,000 on the Scoville unit, so they're a good mid-hot pepper. Wanted to take you back over to the Joala fingers. You can see there are several peppers on these. I mean, these plants produce so many peppers, it's crazy. You can eat them green, and I've done it, and they taste good, but I have found when you wait till they're red, they taste so much more better, and they do get hot. If I recall correctly, it says they get about 50 to 100,000 on the Scoville. I didn't notice my first red pepper being that hot. It seemed like it was less hot than that. So I'm thinking maybe it is less hot than that, or maybe my brand is not as hot, or maybe I didn't let it mature to red as long as I could. You recall, I peeled it off when it still had about an inch of green at the bottom of the pepper, and I let it counter ripen. These ones I didn't let counter ripen. They are fully ripened on the plant, and they are a little more swelled up from the rain, so maybe they'll be a little hotter, maybe they won't be, I don't know. See if I can get a good shot of these big gems again. These suckers are huge. I never really can get the best shot in the world on these, but they really are about 10 inches tall. It's hard to tell because of the angle of the video. Just keep in mind this is 12 inches tall, and the dirt's only a couple of inches, and they're above the dirt, or they're above the side guard here of my raised beds. Real big. And then that other New Mexico Big Jim pepper back here is now about 4 inches, so it's continuing to grow. No buds on the unhealthy middle one yet. Same problem with this one as I'm having with this Fresno pepper here. It just seemed to catch a disease, or it seemed to have a problem growing, and I don't know. But I've got 3 plants, and one's doing well, and one's a little yellow. This one's not yellow. It just has a problem producing buds and keeping foliage growth happening. Excited about the Tasmanian Habaneros. These get about 100 to 300,000 on the Scoville. They also will turn red when they're ripe, so I'm excited about that. And I have got several buds on this one, and I'm sure these will set some fruit here soon. And then even my runt back here has actually started to put some buds. I probably need to get back here and just clip all those off, let him focus on foliage as well and growth. Still nothing happening on the chocolate habanero. It's recovering really well. It does have, like I said, it is getting some buds. So I'm really optimistic that these buds that it's producing actually turn into fruit. And same thing back here. Oh, where is it at? Yeah, buds back here. So hopefully in the next week, I'll have some chocolate habanero fruit sets. I'll have some more Tasmanian habanero fruit sets other than the 6 or so on this plant here. Hopefully my New Mexico Big Gems start to ripen. I don't know how long they take to ripen. They seem fully grown now, and I'm really hoping that they ripen up here, because I'm so excited to eat a red one. I've had a green one, not as good as these. It was a lot more immature, but those are thicker, bigger, and greener than the one I ate. It was not hot at all. It was more like a jalapeno, and I know they can get hotter than that, so I'll have to see how that does. I want it to turn red. And then finally, my bucket or container grown grapes are tomatoes are doing good. I don't know what's up with this. This is the most, I mean, it's got 12 tomatoes on every one of these flowering ends. I guess they put out 12 for every single set, and even the flowers, I mean, they're just everywhere. So these ones are putting out more than the ones that were over here. These only get about 6. So I don't know why they're different. They're the same, well, they're from store-bought grape tomatoes, so maybe that's why they're hybrid, but they're the same plants. But it's odd that these two, chosen at random and placed in here, are producing differently than the ones over here, which has me thinking about the soil mix. Is something different in this one that is different in this one, because they are different soil mixes. So I'll have to do some research and see what happened there. Anyway, that's the garden update. I guess I'll give a peek at the compost. Keep in mind that this compost is probably drenched. We've had so much rainfall lately that yeah, it's pretty wet in there. Probably too wet. I need to probably add some dry leaves. But guess what? All my dry leaves are wet from the rain. So we'll just have to let this sit. I'll probably turn it later today. I did want to show one more thing. I'm kind of happy I did this. It's already full. But I set up in my yard a rain catcher. So I took my downspout, added a little angle bar, stuck this 55-gallon flat back barrel. It's got a tube down there, and I've already put a little watering hose, and I keep it in the old gutter system for now, just for storage. But I mean, obviously I could take this out. I turn this nozzle here, and it turns it on, and gravity does the rest of the work. And it's cool to have rainwater. I don't need it now. As you can see, everything's really soaking wet. But the fact that I have it is great, because in the summer I'm gonna need it. And I'm thinking about setting up another system back here and tapping it in so that when this gets to a level, it goes to this one. I'd like to have 2 back here since this got full in one night of rain. We had so much rain. So that's awesome that it fills up that quick. But now I feel like I'm wasting rainwater because I've already got that full, and I should have a second one. So I'll probably do a second one. I got it for like $100 to set up, and probably a little more than I needed to spend. I think you can get them for free from your city, but the ones from the city are green, bright green, and they just don't look as good. So I like that more earthy look to that one. Eventually I'll hook up my 6-foot hose instead of this thin spray line hose. And then I even bought a 10-foot soaker for the times when I just want to water this bed, or when I want to water any of the other beds. I can hook up the hose and put the soaker on. Anyway, that's my update. It's we're on tornado watch. It doesn't look like a tornado's happening, but we are on tornado watch for the next 6 hours. So hopefully my garden survives if we have something like that happen, God forbid. Last night we had 80-mile-per-hour winds, and luckily I spent several hours tying off those grape tomatoes, as well as my red on the vine tomatoes. So nothing bad occurred. And hey, that's it. So if you like the video, please like it and subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and comment if you want to. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.